Hi, and welcome to Momma ISIS podcast. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I've decided to do 3 cold cases tonight. These are Spanish cold cases. The first tarot and medium reading that I'm doing, there will be 3, so this might be a little bit longer of an episode. In 2019, 2 girls went missing, Manuela Bougeffa and Virginia Espejo. The 4 cards that I pulled were the Father of Knives in the reverse, Bishop C.H. Mason in the reverse, Mother of Coins in the reverse, and Mother of Sticks in the reverse. Throughout this reading, Manuela and Virginia came through very clear. They were trying to explain to me about the cartel and the military, how there will be these people in the cartels and in the military that will live underneath houses or places. She showed me, Manuela did, that there are doors and stairs and openings that lead down to these underground living spaces. It's basically a place where they can get away from persecution of any kind of government or people. Manuela and Virginia went on to explain to me that there are people that are corrupted in their military because they either want to be close with the U.S. government and commit crimes on the women, or U.S. government people are infiltrated or put in their military. So they're able to replace people by looking like them. It was a comment that, well, they don't really keep track of how they look like very much anyway out there. So a U.S. soldier could get a little bit of work done to look like another soldier out there and replace them. So there's a dominance of the U.S. government in that area in Spain. And she was explaining that they had control over there at one point, and they were purposely abusing women and children and killing them. It was an attack on their people, and they would work closely with the cartel. So these would be the type people that would be underground. Throughout this conversation, Manuela and Virginia said that they took them to these underground places. And one had died before the other because they wanted to save one to have babies. Now, apparently, they'll save one or women to have babies. And what they do is they experiment on those children underground. The cartel and these people that are a part of the government have this idea of like a new race or something like that. I said, if I close my eyes, can you show me what it's like down there? She showed me that they do live down there to get away from any type of punishment. And people get sick and die down there. Manuela and Virginia said people will get diseases and they will just die. I could see the mud and the water. One of the girls I found was suicidal, so she had wanted to not be here. And it wasn't that they weren't wanting to have fun with boys when they went out to this party. It was just that one of the girls was in not getting along with her family. And I think it had something to do with her liking the same sex. But based on this reading, I do believe that they're drugged underground. So the Father of Knives in the reverse was discussing that they actually were in the upper hand at one point when they had gotten in this car. And they were going to hurt this person in the car. And I'm unsure if there was more than one, because this is how the story was told to me. At one point, we were fighting and we were winning and had the upper hand. And then he must have gotten a weapon, or maybe they got it, or they were fighting. There was a struggle. Well, when they had gotten back to the underground, or they had taken them there, they were surprised that women were there and would basically make them do weird things with the men. So there were women involved in a part of these killings as well. In the Mother of Sticks in reverse, I had this full-on conversation with a spirit that was explaining that the upper class people are infiltrated with the Muslim religion, but it's a pretty violent way of believing and living. It's not something that they would talk about. It's pretty secret. And they don't really like women because of that. These people in the upper class in Spain primarily like males, and it's something that's hidden. And this is why women and children get mistreated out there on a level that you can't understand, because you look at that country and you're like, well, women and children should be taken care of, right? Well, you have these secret gays that believe in this Muslim religion out there, and it's very dangerous. It's very secret. These religious people are a danger to women out there, and it causes crimes, horrible crimes that are committed on women and children in Spain. It seems like the US government has a lot to do with Spain in these areas, according to cartel, military, and the upper class. However, I don't believe that the US government is really in power anymore in Spain. They may still be doing some abuse out there, but I think that the US government out there in Spain is losing their power. And hopefully the people taking over will get rid of these crimes that are being done on the people of Spain. Unless the law enforcement out there finds the underground communities of these cartel and military members, when people go down there and they actually keep these women and forcibly make them have babies for them, what these cards are saying, what Bishop C.H. Mason in reverse is saying, that they were brutally killed, and what the Mother of Sticks is saying, and the Mother of Coins, that if they survived, if any of them survived, that they are there forever. There's no getting out. Going into the second case, the man of Samiedo. They didn't have any accurate name or know anything about this man that they found on the side of the road. He was obviously different, had a hunchback, was short. I found some really interesting things about him. The cards I pulled are the Father of Coins in the upright, the Ten of Coins in reverse, the Mother of Knives in reverse, and the Daughter of Baskets in the upright. The Father of Coins basically states that he was a servant. He protected the home, and he served. The Ten of Coins in reverse is basically stating that he loved his mom. He was really close with his mom. Even though these people that he was with had ended the life of his biological mother, he had somebody who loved him very much. And he did have siblings, but they weren't his biological siblings. So it was clear in the reading that he was basically a stolen baby. Mother of Knives in the reverse goes into saying where he is from. Now, I know that they looked everywhere for where he was from, and Spirit said he is from Ireland, which isn't very far from Spain. If you look up where Ireland is from Spain, it's only 652.9 miles. And I found that amazing. I learned that he really loved to write. He loved to write, and he grew up basically in a place that was out in the forest. And these people are raised out there. Sometimes, if they get sick, they will get killed, but they're raised out there just completely different. So these are basically people in hiding who have children that they hide, but maybe they don't completely hide them. I'm unsure of the specifics. Otherwise, I wish I knew. This seems like a very underground type thing. He does have family members that are alive, and they're the ones that dumped him. However, the reason why he was dumped out there like that was because of the secrecy surrounding him. And he wasn't loved by these people who dumped him. Now, they may be his family who were the reason why he was dumped, that took him all the way out to Spain to dump him. However, the reason why he was treated like this was because his blood relatives, the people that were caring for him. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that there were people that were somewhat related to him that were caring for him after the people that loved him had died. There is some sort of story that I was given about that, and I've been trying to make sense of it. Maybe these are distant relatives of his or the people that stole him, but they had a vendetta against the mom. That was clear. She didn't want to be close with these people. And so what they did was they killed the mom and took her kid. It just seems like there's a lot of drama and a lot of things to unfold in this case. But he had a love for things, he had a love for laughing. He had a love for certain types of soft, cuddly things. But the one thing that these cards keep pointing to is he had a love for writing. This was definitely something that comes up like a lot in this reading. This reading also discusses in the Mother of Knives in reverse that he was abused. He was abused. He was abused sexually and physically. And I do want to state that it is possible that I am wrong, that he didn't, when I said he didn't grow up around biological siblings because of the forest and how there's secrecy and, different families that obviously live out underground in the forest, in the wild. And it is possible that he does have relatives that he may have grew up with. That was just something that came through on the reading from a spirit. However, on the flip side, there also was energy coming through that he did have relatives. So I don't want to count that out of the reading and say, well, he doesn't have any relatives or siblings or anything like that, because that's not something that came through in the reading. It's clear based on this reading that he's got relatives somewhere and they can be found, but they are in forests and it might be a little bit harder because of these secret groups that hide children. Maybe what this reading is trying to tell me that I'm confused about the blood relatives is that maybe he was cared for somehow by the father's side. Maybe there's something to do with him being cared for by relatives that aren't completely relatives. I'm not really understanding what Spirit's trying to tell me. However, I'm sure there is an explanation. I understand that he had people who raised him that he wasn't related to, but there's something deeper in there about relatives. These would have been the people involved after his mother that raised him died, which was why he was thrown on the side of the road. Now that I've gone in circles and fumbled over that case that I'm questioning myself about, sometimes I'll go back and forth and I'm like, what? So going on to this case is Malen Zoe Ortiz Rodriguez, the son of sticks in the upright, the two of coins in the reverse, the five of coins in the upright, the father of coins in the upright are the tarot cards that I had pulled from Malen Zoe Ortiz Rodriguez. What is sad about this is in the father of coins, it's clear that she was killed. It's clear that she was beaten, raped to death, and she was put somewhere in the woods. That came through very clearly. It's clear in the Son of Sticks that Spain is not somewhere that you should live if you have kids, because these young men are taking women, killing them, just because they want to. They're wannabe cartel people. This seems to be a trend out there. The Five of Coins tells us this as well. The Two of Coins in the reverse is saying, well, maybe she's in the water now. She's been out there in the woods. So incorporating water. So maybe this is saying that she's somewhere by water. So the Son of Sticks is in the upright is a pretty scary card, saying, if you have children, they're abducting them in large numbers. And it's not really somewhere that you want to live right now. So what is the issue here that we learned? There's young men that are wanting to be in a gang or in a group, and they don't care. They want to commit these violent acts because they want to be a part of some group, And it's a trend that they're doing out there. There must be a lot of money in being a part of these groups. Money and power is what they want. It is apparent that there is a black on black crime going on when it comes to these young men and abusing these children. The cards I had pulled for this beautiful young lady was 9 of sticks in the reverse, 9 of coins in the reverse, 9 of knives in the reverse, and 8 of knives in the reverse. And the 9 of knives, she's basically trying to tell me where she's located. And I think that she's trying to say that she's under some sort of walkway. 9 of coins is stating that she was obviously drugged with something and she passed. 8 of knives is explaining this was a darker man that was bigger. The 9 of sticks is explaining that this is a darker man that's bigger. He goes to church. He hangs around town. He's killed a lot of people. A lot of people come up in this reading that he's killed. Noting in the reading that he hangs around. So he is a big walker and likes to ride his bike around. But he is mostly just a walker. I know this episode was a little different, and thank you so much for listening to these readings that I had done on these beautiful people. I know that I might have fumbled a little bit and kind of questioned myself, but I always do during readings because there's different spirits with different opinions that come through and different truths. So listening to all of them is very important. Thank you so much for listening to Momma ISIS podcast. I enjoy every adventure with you. Blessed be.